your socks. Hey!
The Lost Art with Andrew Cox podcast, now streaming on all major podcast platforms. A Till Valhalla Project ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we're having my veteran story. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? And be sure to go to the website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check it out, see what we're all about. If you want to help supporting us, getting our veteran voices out for all to hear, there is a merchandise tab you can click on. Go get you a cool cup, a hat, a shirt, something like that. There's also, you can become a patron, and that's a monthly donation. Or there's a one-time donation thing that you can hit as well. But go on there, check it all out, see what all we got going on there. And I got to give a shout out to the Till Valhalla Project, allowing me to be an ambassador for that amazing organization. If you don't know anything about them, go to their website. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. Check them out, see what they're all about, and if you can help them, please do so.
Ton Tavern, birthplace of the Corps. We as Marines hold this history close to our hearts. Wouldn't it be spectacular if the establishment was born again? The Ton Legacy Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3, is taking the task and is looking to the Marines to once again save the day. Help the Lost Art podcast in raising funds to help get the Ton built once again, only 100 yards from the original establishment in Philadelphia. We are looking for Marines to donate $25, representing the upcoming 250th birthday of the Corps. Spread the message and help establish the Ton, a place for Marine brethren to gather and remember our historic beginning. Go to the Lost Art GoFundMe page and donate today. The Ton Legacy Foundation, reestablishing our birthplace.
All right, I've got Army veteran Michael Solano here. How you doing?
Doing good there. I don't know your rank. What's your rank?
It was Master Gunnery Sergeant.
Master Gunnery Sergeant. So what? No, that's an E7.
That's an E9.
It's an E9. Sergeant Major.
So we have Sergeant Major, and then on the like the direct MOS would be Master Gunnery Sergeant. So we split at E7. So we go Master Sergeant to Master Gunnery Sergeant, or you go First Sergeant to Sergeant Major.
So what's in your structure? Because there's no difference in ours. In your structure,
Mm-hmm.
Master Gunnery Sergeant, is that more admin versus guy who's in the trenches?
Well, it's so that would be like somebody that is the expert in their field.
Okay.
So they're the technical field. And when you go First Sergeant, Sergeant Major, that's more administrative. Okay. So they're in charge of a company or a battalion or higher, whatever. So that's how they do that.
Okay. Well, and being Army, the Marine jabs are going to come in here, brother, because you're throwing them at me. And you're giving me low hanging, fruit or these curveballs I can see the stitches on. You're like saying that's the technical side of the Marine Corps, which is like saying we've learned to use the crayons properly.
Yeah. Basically, that about sums it up. Yeah.
It's okay. Like we learn how much salt and pepper to add to the crayons before we eat them. Got it. That's the technical side. Always loved my Marine brothers, man. It's been one of these things where I wanted to join the Marine Corps. They wouldn't let me join the Marine Corps. I gave you the finger story already.
Yeah.
I lost my index finger when I was 3. But a little background on me. I was born in Oakland, California, raised in Southern California. Okay. And, what really got me into the military was I grew up in the time of the 1960s, 70s, Speed Racer, John Wayne, the Lone Rifle, the Lone Ranger, the Rifleman, all that stuff like that. And John Wayne was the one that really got me into it because his stories were still big. And I wasn't into his Westerns, but I was into the war stories, Run Silent, Run Deep, all these different, Bridge Too Far, Iwo Jima, all that stuff like that. All the great war stories, Midway, the ones we grew up with watching that had all, Charlton Heston and all those guys on it. They were great actors, not like the guys they've got now, but the real actors, But it was the one in particular that got me was John Wayne's the Green Berets and the Fighting Seabees.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to be like I said, a Marine, but I couldn't join. So the Army took me, and I ended up doing I joined in 1987, November 19th, 1987. We all remember our entrance date. You know,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, you won't remember your anniversary, your kids' birthdays, or anything like that, but you'll remember when you ETS, and PCS. You'll remember those. You know, so yeah, it's just I think those are burned in my head. But I joined in 1987, Fort Benning, Georgia, Delta Company, second to 58th. Went through Home of the Infantry.
Yeah.
Went to airborne school after that, and got transferred off into Europe. Did a tour in Europe. Came to Fort Hood, Texas. Joined 312th MI Lurs D. Got my tab out of there. Moved, after the Gulf War. I did the Gulf War with them. Got shipped back to the Gulf War again with 24th ID Lurps. Spent about 18 months there again, all over again.
Yeah.
So I did about I'm going to say about 30 months over there total time
Wow.
that I run there. But
No kidding.
came back. I don't know. You guys have a base up in California called 29 Palms. I guess that's your training. Is that your training area?
It is. Well, it's there is a base, like it's fairly small main side, but the training area is huge.
Yeah,
it's one of the largest bases.
Yeah, isn't that base? Now that's a training post where they train you in desert warfare. Am I correct? It's got
correct,
a permanent. It's got a permanent duty assignment there, but you guys go in.
That's correct. Yeah.
And if it's right, we have the same thing, but it's in Barstow. It's in Death Valley. Yeah. It's there. And if I'm correct, you guys hate yours just as much as we hate ours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I was actually stationed at mine, 11th ACR. So I got stationed there. Best duty assignment in the military, dude. Club fed.
Oh, really?
It was club fed. It was club fed, dude. It was a dream come true because it was the closest thing you could get to being active duty military and not having to worry about anything.
Oh, wow.
Because you're a training post, so you don't get deployed.
Yeah.
And you only go out to the field when you guys come in.
Yeah.
So, and you don't come in December, so we always get vacations. And the way it worked, I don't know how it worked for you guys, but the way it worked for us is when the training unit came in, they would take them a week just to get acclimated, and it would take they'd only be there for a month, so you're only doing it 11 times out of the month. So January through November, you're training, you're out there, you're with them.
Right.
But the fun part is they would come, they would be there in say January, so it would take them a week to get unpacked, get everything organized. Then they would take a week to do all their training to get acclimated to our area, and then they would do a couple of days of battles, and then it would take them a week to pack up and a week to leave.
Wow.
So we only went out in the field 3 days out of the month.
Yeah. That's
total
insane.
6 days. Yeah. And dude, the hardest part for me in that duty assignment, being a staff sergeant over there, was telling my soldiers, don't give me a blotter and don't get a sexually transmitted disease and don't get married to a whore. Don't marry a whore. Don't, that's what you did. That's what you told them. Because Vegas was what, 45 minutes away?
Oh yeah. It was right down the road. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had the beach in California, an hour and a half away. So, and my soldiers were stationed there and they had nothing to do but be bored.
Yeah. And plenty of time on their hands.
Oh, keeping I don't know what you guys call it. We call it a blotter report. You don't want a blotter.
Oh, yeah, the blotter.
Yeah. You're telling your story. Don't get on a blotter report. Dude, don't, because that reflects on you as an NCO.
Yeah.
Dude, you get on a blotter report. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking you to the nearest railroad track. I'm going to find a rusty sledgehammer and I'm going to take off any kind of manhood you got. So don't do it, So you pretty much had to threaten your soldiers with transitioning them, to make sure they didn't do nothing. But so nice. I did 10 years. I did 10 years in the service, man. But I ended up just getting beat up over the military. They dropped us in a bad DZ, and I busted myself up real bad, and spent time in the hospital, and did 8 more years after that. And then I finally just couldn't take it anymore. My first sergeant called. When I was in Fort Irwin, and one of my troops came to me and he goes, "Hey, go get Staff Sergeant Solano." So he came out to get me. He says, "The first sergeant wants to see you." And I'm going, "Why does Pop want to see me? What did I do?" The last thing I want is my, what do you, it's called a senior master gunnery sergeant?
Master gunnery sergeant. Yeah.
I don't want my master gunnery sergeant talking to me. I don't know you.
Yeah.
What do you have to do with me? You talk to my platoon sergeant. You don't talk to me. I'm just a squad leader. Why would you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I got my first sergeant wanting to talk to me. I'm going, it's 1,400 hours, man. What does he want to talk to me for? So he pulls me in his office. He pulls out some shot glasses and some tequila. I'm like going, I love to drink, but this is not the end. Where's the other NCOs if we're having a meeting? Why am I, this is, it's like, I'm married, you're married, we're not going to get intimate. What's this about? You know what I'm saying? I'm going, what's going on here? And he pulls out my PT records, and my push-ups and sit-ups were fine, but my run had dropped like 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was doing, I was 32 years old. When I got into his unit, I was doing I was there for like 2.5 years. So in a matter of 2.5 years, I went from doing like 14-minute miles, 13-minute
Yeah.
miles to doing 18, 19-minute miles, 2-minute miles.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So they dropped quite a bit. And he was like concerned about me. He goes, your push-ups are, you're maxing them out. You're maxing your sit-ups. You're a great soldier. Your run time is really bothering me. And that really bothers me. I want to find out what's going on. I want to get you evaluated. So I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have you evaluated. And I'm like, and I'm right now. I'm an E6P, or I'm getting ready to be an E6P. They're getting ready to put my jacket up a DA to give me an E7. I'm going. This is not what I want to go through, because they stop it there. You don't get your 7, you're out. I get my 7, I become Department of the Army. They're not gonna be able to get me out that easy.
Yeah.
So I go in, X-rays, CT scans, mobility tests, find out my back and my hips are all screwed up.
Yeah.
And they don't want to keep me. All those ruck marches, all that crap that we did, they busted.
Oh, yeah,
like, okay.
Sure.
So I get out, and this may help me out a little bit because I'm always looking for some help there. But I get out, and I haven't received an ounce of benefits. I've been fighting it ever since. Never got a dime. Haven't gotten a dime.
What?
Yeah, haven't gotten a dime, brother. I'm looking for somebody to help me out with this crap. Maybe a lawyer, maybe your podcast guys may have a lawyer out there that wants to get in touch with me, whatever. But with that being said, I need somebody to help me out to get this stuff in the DA to push this stuff around because they keep kicking me out. Got my VA card, got everything, got evaluated. They won't give me. They just keep kicking out my crap. My T's not crossed properly.
I know some people to talk to. Let me chat with some people, and I'll get with you offline here. When we're not recording, I'll tell you.
Absolutely, you got my phone number, you got everything. I'll make sure you have all my information so they can get hold of me. But yeah, I've been fighting for my benefits ever since. I got $10,000, a cup of coffee. They gave me an azimuth and a kick in the ass. In the front door back in 1981 or 1998.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. There should be something there. I'm sure there is, and I think you just got to talk to the right people. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, that's the problem. Being out as a civilian and being self-employed, I don't have time to do everything they want me to do. It's like, look, I got to put food on the table, or I got to go do this stuff for the military, and I can't do it. I can't do both.
Yeah.
So the family's got to come first. So I need somebody that could push stuff along and say, okay, we're going to get you in. We're going to cut through the red tape. We're going to get you evaluated. We're gonna, it's going to be a one-time thing because they keep wanting me to do about 55 different things. I'm like, dude, I don't have time for this. I got a wife. I've got 5 kids. I don't have time. Obviously, if I got 5 kids, I don't have time. I didn't have time for a long. But I could use your help in that. But that's my story. I did 10 years, and I got ETS out of 11th ACR, Fort Irwin, California, NTC, which is your 29 Palms, which was the best duty assignment the military has to offer.
Nice. Well, hey, let's go back because you were telling some good stories. So let's go back and kind of talk a little more in depth about the different steps, right? So. You go to boot camp. You told me a little bit about that a second ago. Once you kind of talk through boot camp, and then we'll hit every duty station along the way and just kind of reminisce on what you remember.
Okay, so I go to a recruiting station in Garden Grove, California, and sit down there, and they give you these tapes they want you to watch. They go, what do you want to be? And they show you clerks and mechanics and cooks and all this stuff. And all of a sudden they show this. I'll never forget this video. They show this young black fella. And he slides into this river, and he's holding his M16 up like this. And he's got it up in the air, and he slides, and he's got his boonie cap on. And my eyes get as big as, saucer plates. I'm like, I want to be that. I want to be that. That's what I want to be. And it was a Ranger. That's you're Force Recon. He goes, like, I want to be that. I want to be that. And he goes, he wants to be a Ranger. And it's like, this recruiter's salivating. He's like, dude, I'm going to Hawaii on this guy. This guy's my recruitment fulfillment right here. I'm going to Hawaii on this guy. So he gets me in there, and he kind of hoses me a little bit because he gives me what's called an 11B with 11B Papa, which is airborne. I get airborne. I get infantry and airborne, right? But he gives me with the range with what's called a. I don't remember the exact term, but it's a Ranger option, and it's not my option; it's the Army's option.
Yeah. It's up to them, not you.
Yeah, it's up to them whether they want to give it to me or not. It's like I thought the Ranger option meant I get to choose whether I want to go. It's almost like a politician. We got to tax the rich, but anybody that has an income is rich. They just don't tell you that. So if you got a job, you're rich. We're going to tax you. They just don't tell you that. So anyways, I get this Ranger option, so I go to basic, and they're going through, and the recruiters. I'm at the MEP station, and it's my first duty assignment, dude. I'm 20 years old. I think I turned 21. I turned 21 in basic. No, in AIT. So I turned 21 in my AIT because I got out and I joined in November, got out in March, airborne. I joined 21. I was airborne at 21 because it was April. So I get out. Okay. I get into the MEP station, and I'm scared to death, man. Cattle trucks, 2:00 in the morning. you show up there, you haven't slept in like 18 hours because I mean, you're so scared. They could literally stuff a
Yeah.
lump of coal up your ass and get a 5 carat diamond, within 30 seconds. You're so wired tight. So I get into the MEP station, and this drill sergeant, walks across the MEP station floor, and it's got this big, giant sword. We wear patches, so it's got the patch of the unit on there, and it says "Follow me," which is infantry. That's Benning. So he walks across, and he's got his round brown down. The dude looks like any kind of pissed off state trooper. So he's walking across the floor. I get in the MEP station, and they get us in. The next day, they wake us up, get us all in our costume and like that. Next day, wake up, you're going to get 3 minutes to call your loved ones. 3 minutes, and that's it. So I was living with my grandmother at the time. My grandmother was the one that made me join because she said, you need to be a man. You need to learn to be a man. So she made me go in and join the military. So I call her up, and I go, hey, Grandma, I think I made a mistake. I need to, this is not for me. I need to come home. And my grandmother goes, you don't have a home. Click. Dude. I was like, I don't have a home. So I'm like, I act like a little girl. I'm like, oh. So at that point in time, I was like, I got to make it.
Yeah.
So, I go through basic, AIT and with this determination, okay, I don't have a home. I've got to make it. End up graduating honor grad out of basic.
Nice.
I walk out with a stripe, one of the highest PT scores there. My drill sergeant loves me, other than the time when I flipped him off, but I guess I can get a story there. I ended up flipping off my drill sergeant because he asked me what finger I was going to use to pull the trigger. I said that one. So didn't go over well. Did not go over well. So did that. Went off into Europe. Got up with a mechanized team there that had a LERP unit that was attached to it. And we did all kinds of good stuff out there. Had fun there. Got out of there. Went into Fort Hood. Got myself transferred into Fort Hood. Didn't want to go back into any kind of. Didn't want to go into a LERP unit. I just didn't want to go into one. I wanted to get out and use my Ranger option. That's when I found out I didn't have the option. It was up to the Army, and I became needed in the Army. So then I just started mail shopping my around to units. I started calling up units, and I got a hold of this one unit called 312th MI, first Cav. Turns out, really, really, really honorable unit. Okay, do you remember the story? We Were Soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's Air Mobile Cav.
Yeah.
They don't have any more Air Mobile Cav. 312th MI is the last Air Mobile Cav that the Army ever had.
No kidding.
I went to war with 312th MI Air Mobile Cav.
Wow.
I get to wear an airborne tab over my first Cav patch. Only unit in the entire military. There's only 36 of us on the planet, and I'm one of them.
Wow, that's
I
really
get to
cool.
be, dude. It is such an honor to be a part of what was his name? Colonel Hal, whatever his name is. It's such an honor to be a part of his unit, man. I mean, just one to have brought honor to the Vietnam vets, what we did in the Persian Gulf, but two, to be one of the last guys to have that honor to wear that patch, as a combat patch.
Yeah.
What an honor. I mean, it's like, I mean, the only way I could have gotten better is to be Forrest Gump. I got shot in the buttocks, but it was that lucky. I mean, it was that fortunate. So I did a tour with them. Then they shipped me off after I came back from the Gulf. They're supposed to give you some downtime from anything overseas. Well, they didn't. Your needs an Army. So as soon as I got home, I had orders to go to Korea, which was a hardship duty. Again, you can't take any family. You're over there by yourself.
Right.
If you're married, you don't get kids. So it's like I get off the bus and some clerk Spec 4 is E4 is sitting on there giving out orders as we come off the bus, and he looks and goes, Staff Sergeant. I was a sergeant at the time, E5. He goes, Sergeant Solano, and people go, you're going to Korea, and everybody else was getting like Hawaii. And they were getting stateside bases or whatever, and I get overseas. And they just looked at me and said, "Dude, you suck." The rest of my unit thought I had leprosy. They started getting away from me. They're like, "Get away from this guy. He's got bad luck." So I'm like, "Can I get out of this?" Say, no, the best you can get is 90-day deferment. That's the best you're going to get. So I said, "Give me the 90-day deferment." So I got a 90-day deferment, and then I got sent off to Korea. So that's when I started calling around. I'm like going, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of a place like this. So I called around and I said, look, I gotta move into to a different base. If you see a cat do a cameo, it's only because we rescue them.
Oh no, that's all good. That's all good. I got my dog sitting at my feet right now, so we're good.
This is Lopke. He's a rescue cat.
Okay.
He was homeless. And I was cleaning. I have a company called Dallas Windows and Gutter Cleaning out here in Dallas. So if you got any clients out there, but anyways, I was at a client's house and he was underneath his car crying. I said, "Hey man, your cat's outside." He goes, "That's not my cat." So I showed it to my wife. I took a picture of him. My wife says, "Bring him home." So we brought him home, and here he is, and he makes a cameo every time I do a YouTube channel, dude. every time
Nice.
he makes a
Yeah,
cameo.
yeah.
So, I'm having a cameo. So, anyways, with that being said, I get home, I get into Korea, and when I go to Korea, I don't want to go out in the field there. I'm like, dude, I don't want to go out in
Hmm.
the field. So I end up find out that the mail clerk is going to jail for not delivering about 40,000 pieces of mail. He just didn't
Oh
deliver them.
my God.
Yeah, I mean, what's the most important thing for a soldier when he's overseas besides food?
Mail. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, mail.
Contact with home. Yeah.
Right. Because you're not making phone calls, dude. It's not like
Yeah.
cell phones weren't a big thing then.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking. When was I in Korea? 94, 95, somewhere around in there.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no cell phones, dude. You ain't.
Hmm.
There's no AT&T or Sprint. You're calling when if you can. But so the colonel, I show up and I've got a secret clearance because I was with the LRP unit, so I've got a secret clearance. I show up, and the colonel's in the battalion office when I show up, the pack office, where they're doing, and he's like, I need a clerk, I need to get a guy, I need an NCO with a secret clearance. And they look over and say, well, this guy just showed up. He's Ranger qualified. He's got an alert. He's got a secret clearance. We can put him in there. And he looks over at me, and I'm a new guy.
Yeah.
Just got assigned to the unit. And the colonel goes, how would you like to be a battalion mail clerk? I'm like, you won't go to the field. You'll do that. I'm like, the first thing I heard is you ain't going to the field.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I'm not going to the field. Dude,
Sold.
where do I sign up for this? So he goes, you get your own, and he's going on, you get your own office, you'll have a coffee pot, you'll have this. Dude, you had me at I'm not going to the field.
Oh,
You had me at that
yeah.
one. I just spent 6 years in the military in the field, and you're telling me I get a year down? Dude, sign me up for this one.
Yeah.
So, and he goes, and you only answer to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm with my arm behind my back going, how do I sign? Okay, stop. I'm ready to sign the paperwork. So he gets me over to a fauna hut, and literally there's got to be about 24. You ever seen that movie Miracle on 34th Street?
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when they dumped all that mail on the judge's desk?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the mail clerk office looked like.
Oh my God.
Dude, there was mail everywhere. Brother, there was mail everywhere. There was mail bags loaded to the gills everywhere. He goes, I gotta find out where some of this mail was 6-7 months behind.
Oh my God.
I mean, this guy was going to jail. So he kind of goes, look, I don't care. You don't have to show up for information. You don't have to do nothing. You answer directly to me. I just want he goes, you got 90 days to get this cleared out and get this mailroom up to shape. We've got a not even a divisional. It's a core mailroom inspection coming down. The general's coming to look at it.
Oh yeah.
So this colonel, he knows he's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
That's jail time for the colonel.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's jail time. And he's like, if you can get me out of this. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the best I can. So I spend the next 45 days, literally 12, 16 hours a day, just going through all this. First, I have to go to mail school, 2 weeks long.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
I got to go to mail school. I got to become an actual postman in the Army. So same damn course that the U.S. Post Office goes through, but condensed down.
Okay.
So they're putting me through a crash course. I go through this course. I pass the course, get in there, start doing the mail. So I'm already 2 weeks behind. Go through this mail. I'm spending literally 12, 14 hours a day in this mailroom just going through mail. And
wow.
then they have what's called I don't know what I can't remember what they were called in the Army, but it's called the broke dick squad. It's every squad, every private or whatever that's getting out of the military because they're broke dick. You guys had that in your So, anyways, I got that going on, and they said you can have one or two of the broke dick privates to help you out. So I've got a couple of broke dick privates that are my clerks. They're helping me out, and I'm like, since I'm the E5, and I end up getting promoted, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So we go through the mail. And the mail clerk, we come down for an inspection. All right. I got this thing wired tight. You got delivery times, pickup times, mails, everything's got to be ordered. The mail has to have secured areas because certain mail is
right.
secret. I'm getting stuff from the Department of the Army. That's got to go to certain people. So I got to have a secured room, so in the meantime, I've had the mechanics come in and build me a secured room with a lock and a cage in it so I can lock it up. All this stuff has to be done. The way the mail has to be handled, because I'm not handling just civilian mail. I'm handling military mail coming in. That's why you need a secret clearance, because I got to hold that, just be able to transfer it. Not to look at it, even just to get it, you got to have a secret clearance.
Yeah.
So I get it all squared away. They come down, and the guy inspecting is some Colonel IG guy, full bird, comes down. And we end up at the end, he gives us an award, second best mailroom in Korea.
Wow.
So I get a meritorious service medal. He gives me a meritorious service medal. So I got an award for being
no kidding.
No kidding. I'm an infantry soldier with the mail clerk award, man. So
dang.
I get this. Then once we get past, I told the colonel, I said, look, I need a new mail room. I can't do this one. This room leaks. It's going to be bad. We're going to do this. He said, pick a building. I'll get it fixed. So they had Quonset huts out there in Korea. So I picked this one Quonset hut, and it's relatively new. I have about 6 broke dick privates moving me out of there. Get me into my new Quantum.
Yeah.
Dude, I've got not only that, not only do I have now I've got air conditioning, I've got a coffee pot. I now have a TV.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm getting armed forces radio and television in my mail room.
Nice.
And I answer to nobody for a year, dude. I got another 9 months of not answering to nobody.
Yeah.
So then his first sergeant shows up. He's the headquarters first sergeant. I'm supposed to be in his company, right?
Yeah.
And he comes in and gets his mail. He goes, "Who are you?" I said, "Well, my name is Sergeant Solano. I'm your mail clerk." He goes, "Why aren't you in formation?" So I don't come to formations, first sergeant. I work for the colonel. "You'll be in my formation tomorrow." I said, "Okay." "Give me 1 minute, Colonel. Give me 1 minute, first sergeant." So I pick up the phone. "Hey, Colonel, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pass this next inspection. I got to start doing formations and PT and all stuff like this. I'm not gonna have time to do your. I've got to report to formation." My first sergeant just told me, he goes, "Is your first sergeant there? You remember those Charlie Brown cartoons?"
Oh yeah.
That's what you hear at the other phone. So I said, "First sergeant's colonel." So I give him the phone, and that's all I heard. Rawr, 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 and the first sergeant goes, "Here," hands me the phone back, and just walks out. Never said a word to me. Just turned around and walked out. So the gist of the conversation was, "Yeah, he may be your soldier, but you're mine."
Yeah.
So you do what I say. If you want to see E9 first sergeant, you're going to do what I say.
Yeah.
So never got messed with nobody the whole time there. After that, it was just perfect. It was just, and the nice thing was as a mail clerk, you find out who's bread to butter. Okay, so the cooks always giving their mail on time. Give them their mail early, go pick it up early. Hey, senior cook sergeant, whatever, senior spoon, we call them spoons, the spoon daddy, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd always make sure they had mail because the mess hall never closes. People don't realize that the mess hall doesn't close. There's cooks in there 24/7.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And they loved me because again, I was giving them their mail, make sure they got it on time. We look out for certain packages, help them out with certain things. Yeah. And, dude, I tell you what, I could eat whenever I wanted to.
Yeah.
I can go in the mess hall, make myself a sandwich, whatever, if I wanted to get some chow, if the football game was on and they had I can make fries, whatever, they had fries in there.
Nice.
Hey, the football game, I need football, I need fries, I need French, I need some, I need some vegetables and some, whatever, blue cheese or whatever like that, so we're gonna have a football. Oh, here you go, mailman. Here you go, mailman. You can have it. We had a mascot there. His name was called Billy. It was a billy goat that walked onto the base, and everybody just kept him. So we had a mascot on the base. He just walked around.
Okay.
And on the holidays they paint him up. So for Halloween he was orange and black, and Christmas he was red and white. And he had Christmas decorations on his horns and stuff. People would just screw with him. So it's kind of cool. But then I called the Department of the Army and I said, "Look, I want to go to Fort Irwin, California." And I was in Korea, so I'm going from the Persian Gulf to a hardship duty assignment to another hardship duty assignment, and they can't get anybody to go to these because nobody wants to go to NTC. Nobody wants to go to 29 Palms.
Yeah.
Who wants to go there?
Yeah.
It's crap. So I called them up and said, "My mom is in Anaheim, so she lives literally an hour away from Barstow. So I'm going to be home on the weekends. I get to see my family. I'm good to go." I called them up and I got orders to go Fort Drum or Fort Wainwright or some god awful. Pick a place that all military posts are just like the worst places. And every state has great real estate. The military finds the worst parts. It's like where's all the bugs and where's the swamp at? Let's put a base there.
Yeah.
Where's the hottest spot on the planet? Let's put a base there. But they do that because it's like California, great place. Let's find the worst place we could put a base right in the middle of the San Andreas fault line. Let's put one there. But so I called up Department of the Army at like 2:00 in the morning. I said, "Look, I'm supposed to go to here. Can I go to Fort Irwin, California?" The lady at the other end of the phone sounded like I was offering her like free lifetime of drugs. She's like, "You want to go here? You want to go here?" So I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "We'll have your orders out tomorrow." So sure enough, man, within a week I got orders. My orders have changed. I'm going to Fort Irwin, California, and I wanted to go there just because my mom was there. I ended up getting there and found out it's the best training assignment you could ever get. You don't go out to the field, but 6 days out of the week. The rest of the time, you're an hour away from Vegas, an hour and a half away from the coastline. It's vacation land. But so that was my 10 years, brother. That was my 10 years of active service. Then I got QMP'd out. I was going to be an E6P. They were going to send it up, but they QMP'd me out, and that's where I'm at now. So
yeah. Now, and you said you did two deployments
I did.
during the Gulf War. Kind of talk me through a little bit of that, if you don't mind.
Okay, so the first one was Fort Hood, and that was the beginning of the Gulf War. All right, and so this was what was it, 1990? I think is what it started, somewhere around there. So
Yeah.
we're doing our we're down in Fort Hood, Texas, and if anybody knows anything about Texas, it's god awful hot here. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
No,
100,
yeah, yeah.
110 degrees with 70% humidity. I mean, dude, I got a window washing company now, and it's like the worst thing in the world in the summertime because you're getting baked by the sun from behind, and you get microwaved by the windows, and you hit that window with the squeegee, and you just hear it sizzle. It's like, oh, it's
Oh
horrible.
God.
But yeah, so anyways, we're at Fort Hood. We get our orders to go. We're doing all of our training. We're a LERP unit, so we know we're going to be going behind enemy lines. Our whole mission is to be, we're 6-man teams. So we're proverbially the mouse that's getting attacked by the eagle if we get caught in combat. The eagle's
Right.
coming down. The mouse, all we can do is go like this. It's like,
Yeah.
we're not going to fight our way out of it. 6-man.
Yeah.
We'll do the best we can. We'll put up a good show. But what are we going to do against armored, personnel? We're not going to do crap. They're going to mow us down. And we kind of knew this. So anyways, we're going through our training. I think we got there right around the war. I think units started getting there in August, and we got sent there in September, October timeframe. We got there, and as soon as we got there, we got divvied up. We started getting divvied out. They were short on the special forces were short on team members. We're a cross between Rangers and special forces. We really don't do Ranger tactics, but we do. We really don't do special forces tactics, but we do. We're a LERP team, but we know how to do both tactics. If we're in a full platoon, we can do Ranger. If we're split up, we can do special ops. So we became needs of the military there. So he started basically, just splitting the teams up and putting them out wherever they could, and we got attached to we got attached to 5th Special Forces, 7th Special Forces, 10th Special Forces. Everybody out there, teams just started getting attached to them and doing missions out there till the end of the war, going into different areas and just basically just intelling in what was on the ground. With the satellite, what did the satellite see, and that's it. And then doing BDA, bomb damage assessments, things like that. And then when the war ended, we're back in Doha Towers or whatever they put us. I can't remember the place anymore. They put us back there, and then our first sergeant comes around going, "You guys got your CIBs, so combat infantry, combat ribbon is what you guys call it."
Yeah, we have a combat ribbon. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So because the Army is a little more technical and we can draw, we get rifles. So it looks a little bit prettier than just a ribbon. So we get a pretty rifle to put on our chest with a reef around it. Yeah, you guys get the best uniforms. Give us the awards, man. Jeez,
Well, you got to take it when you can. So it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, you guys. I mean, you don't have to have an award with those dress uniforms that you guys wear. You guys look like gods, man. It's like, we look like glorified pickles. I mean, what the hell is that going on? So it's like, give us our awards.
No, real quick. Have you seen the new uniforms, the pinks and greens they started going back to? Have you seen those? The pinks and greens? Yeah. The new pink. It's like throwback to what is it? The World War II uniforms.
Yeah, but you said pink.
Well, they're not really pink, but that's what they call them, pinks and greens. That's what they were back in the day. But it's the iconic uniform from like the World War II era.
For the Army?
It's a good looking uniform.
Well, it's about that time, like 30 years after I get out, because if I put on my green uniform now, I don't even look like a pickle. I look like a cucumber. I'm like fat and all, like skinny fats. It's like because I've gained weight. It's like I was always jealous of the Marine Corps. That's why I wanted to join. You guys' uniforms were so gorgeous. I mean, dude, you could literally be the ugliest guy who could never get a date wearing your rape prevention glasses. You put that uniform on, and women are just all over you.
There's something to the uniform. I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, go look at Clint Eastwood and what was that movie, Heartbreak Ridge? Look at that guy in his uniform.
Yeah.
Dude, they're beautiful. You wouldn't put Clint Eastwood in an army green. Are you kidding me? He would never get another Hollywood film, man. It's crazy. But so give us our ribbons. We got to have our ribbons because we have nothing else. Look. The reason the Army has all those ribbons is anything to take the attention away from the clothes. Anything to get away from the look of the clothes. Just design it up. Just don't look at the clothes. Look at everything else. But you guys look at the uniform. Who cares? The guy could have like 5 Medal of Honors. Who cares? Look at the uniform. But so that's why I hate you guys so much. That's why I hate you guys. It's like that's good brains. They give me uniforms because they're not as smart as us. That's what I got to say. I got my jealousy points. You know, so you know, I did that. The Gulf War. I did that tour, and then you remember 1983, the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
Yeah.
Well, Clinton had to have a diversion,
Yeah. Of course.
so we
Yeah.
got sent back,
Okay.
and we got forgotten,
Oh my gosh.
and we stayed there for 18 months.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they just left. They left units. They left units. It's almost like Afghanistan. You just put you there and just forget you. It happened
Wow.
there. It happened there the whole time. You know, units getting lost in there. Just well, we need them there. Okay, just extend the tour. You know, there's some guy back here going, just extend them. You know, and then they would do something to piss somebody off. So there'd be a firefight. So it'd be in the middle of it. So the news media would look at it rather than looking over
Yeah.
at what's going on in D.C. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
anything to take the
Wow.
eyes off of that depends on what the definition of is. You know, so
Uh-huh.
let's start a war over here again. Let's get something going.
Right.
You know,
Holy
so
cow.
so we got over there, and so that's how all my time over there, just running and gunning, helping the Kurds out up north, and then down here, and
Yeah.
it was nuts. It was just nuts. But
Uh,
so I did 10 years of that crap. Burned up my knees, burned up my ankles. And now my favorite story is to say, honey, you believe in God? Yeah, watch me bend down. Hey, honey, look at another miracle. Watch me get up again.
yeah.
All those. Dude, we carried 125-pound rucksacks.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
were
That's
carrying 125 pounds through the desert.
yeah.
Here's the funny part about the desert. Everybody has these preconceived ideas of what it is, and there's a couple things I remember out there. One, I do too. One, the sandstorms were horrible.
Yeah.
They come up around June, and they start real late in the evening, and they would start. Sorry, my battery's it's good. I got 20%. But they would start real late in the evening, and then they would extend as the summer got. So by the time you hit August, the hardest part, the sandstorms would start at like 9 o'clock in the morning and last till 6 o'clock at night. So you're just covered in it. And then the other part was in the wintertime, it snows out there.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Nobody thinks it does, but it does for sure.
It snows out there, and don't mind the cameos, dude. You're gonna get another shot.
That's all good. That's all good.
This one here is Mr. Beast. So
okay.
we like I said, we rescued. We have what's called a cat rescue. So if anybody wants a cat, they can call me up. But we have rescue cats that we do. It's a way to help me with my PTSD in a sense. That I can show love to creatures. And that there's still goodness in the world. But anyways, the snow out there, and the fact that if you try to dig a foxhole, dude, you get 6 inches down in that dirt and it's cement.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, how hard is this crap? I mean, you're hitting it with the sled, you're hitting it with the pick, and all you hear is ding. You're like, ding. What do you mean? There's metal down there? What's ding? Ding my ass. You got to come out there literally with the jackhammer, pound that crap. It was so hard.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it, man. We had engineers come out and say, okay, we're going to dig you guys some foxholes. Like, oh, no, we just need some plywood to board up the sand. No, we're gonna dig. You don't understand, Sarge. We're gonna dig you a foxhole. Dude, they get down there, and you see that backhoe, and you hear it like it's hitting cement. Like, what the hell is this? So my first experience in the Gulf, we're coming out of the assembly area. We're going to our launching area, staging area, and we see a dead camel.
Okay.
And we got a British guy who's an American soldier now. He became an American citizen, American soldier, and he goes, "Well, boys, that animal's supposed to be here, and it's dead. We're all gonna die." Oh my god! And you got guys that have their E7s, and they're starting to cry. You're like, oh.
Oh god, that's funny.
He just sits back and goes, "Oh, boys," with the British accent. "Oh, boys, that animal's supposed to be here. We're all gonna die." I'm going, oh my god! Yeah, what the hell? Where am I at?
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite stories is my uncles. They baked me a cake, and they said, "Don't eat it. Hey, don't eat the cake." And they baked the cake, and I figured out why after I got it, because inside the cake it was one of those pancakes about yay big. They had when they baked the cake, they had put a bunch of those mini alcohol bottles in there.
Oh yeah. Very
well,
nice.
The Colonel found out.
Oh.
Yeah, not good. That wasn't good. He found out. And so I'm up at his office, and he says, he goes, who I can't remember who came down. He goes, "The Colonel wants to see you, and he wants you to bring your cake with him." I'm like, oh my god. So I go up there, and I've got 2 of them. Okay, they gave me 2 of them, so I've got like 40 bottles, these little bottles that are all lined up in there. 2 cakes, and he's going, and they're all cleaned off now, so you can see every one of them. And he looks at me and goes, "It's a nice cake you got there, Sergeant. You like those stripes?" And I said, "Well, sir, I didn't ask him to send it. It's just here. What do I do now?" He says, "What you do now?" And he reaches over and he goes, "Okay, the Johnny Walker, Johnny Walker, Johnny Walker, Johnny Walker." He pulls it out. He's got like 5 bottles. He goes, "Tell your uncle to make you another cake." I walked out, dude. I walked out. I gave him an order. He goes, "If you want to keep your stripes, you tell your uncle to make you another cake."
Yeah.
So that was it. I became known. I became my new name in the unit became Patty Cake.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah.
hey, Patty Cake, what's going on, man? Hey, Patty Cake. So I became Patty Cake. So that was
That's
my
good.
nickname there. Yeah. So I became Sergeant Patty Cake.
Yeah. I
So,
like that. That's a good story.
Well,
Wow.
it's part of my military history, dude. When I got, like I said,
Yeah.
I had, when I look back on it, dude, belonging to Air Cav, that in itself is an honor. That how many guys get to say they belong to Air Cav, Air Mobile Cav? We're the last of 36.
Not many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're the last of 36. Vietnam vets are the only
Hmm.
ones, and then now,
Yeah.
this is the last unit of 36. It's almost like Second Armored Division. When they got rid of Patton's division, you guys, they're
Yeah.
the last of Second Armored Division. What an honor to be a part of that, the last part of that division. So
Yeah.
but I got a ETS. ETS in obviously my home state of California, but I didn't stay there. I didn't want to go back to California. It's a freaking disaster. Once I got out of California, I realized there was life all over the United States and all over the world. And I said, okay, where do I want to go?
Yeah.
And I ended up staying in North Carolina, where I got out of the military. What was it was California, and I ended up marrying a Kentucky girl. We got divorced in North Carolina, so I ended up staying in North Carolina. And like any Army military guy, we have these delusions of grandeur when we get out. We're gonna rule the world. So I got into insurance. Started selling insurance. Wasn't very good at it. Made enough money to suffer. Thought I was going to get insurance and be the next best thing to whatever it is. E.F. Hutton or whatever. And I was going to rule the world, and I was going to be the next. I was going to be Elon Musk before Elon Musk was born. Type deal. So and that didn't happen. So ended up going back into construction and doing construction out in North Carolina, and then moving up, and I ended up marrying a girl from Russia, and we had 5 kids, and we started a restaurant business, cleaning business up in Pennsylvania. Barack Obama destroyed that when he focused like a laser on the economy, and gas went out, and so luxury cleaning went the way of the dodo bird. So we did, and then I got into decorative concrete, and doing decorative concrete in Pennsylvania is almost like trying to, sell umbrellas in Arizona. It's like it's like it's like you got rain 4 months out of the year, you got snow 6 months out of the year, you get sunshine 4 months out of the year. So and having 5 kids and making you make $90,000 with 5 kids, you might as well be on poverty because you ain't getting nothing.
Oh yeah.
I mean it's
nothing.
That's
true.
So it's no money. People say, oh, you make $90,000, you got 5 kids. And that's
changes
not
it a little bit.
Yeah, it's not the adults in the family. You put 7 people in there, 90,000. You're looking at $1,000, per month for everybody. Type deal. That's nothing. After you pay everything off, it's nothing. So we struggled out there. So we decided to I told my wife, I said, we're gonna pack up the kids. We're gonna come down here, to Texas. But I think the greatest story, coming out of Pennsylvania is I got to go to Gettysburg, which was fun. And on the way home, my wife, being a Russian, she didn't understand our culture. So when she first got into Pittsburgh, she saw the signs that said Steelers everywhere, Steelers. And she, these people dishonest? What's going on with these people? They just take everything? I'm like, no, wrong. You got to add an A in there for the other one. This is the Steelers the game, So 2 stories out of that one. We walk in as a cleaning company. We walk into Jerome Bettis's restaurant. And
oh wow,
got a big picture of Jerome Bettis, like a literally life-size picture of Jerome Bettis. And I'm talking to the manager, getting ready to close the deal, and my wife goes, "Who's that?"
Oh.
And I'm just like, I'm like, oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. Go hire somebody else. We don't want your business. And the manager of the restaurant, without missing a beat, goes, "He's a famous golfer." I said, "Dude, she's from Russia. Give her a break." So he took it in stride. And the second one is Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania is real big Amish Mennonite country. There's a lot of people out there. And so we're coming home on the side of the road. We're coming home and we're driving from east to west, and we pass an Amish carriage. And the Amish guy, he's got the kids on the side of the road with their bonnets, all that stuff like that, and the blue and all that garbage, or black and white. And he's got the horse's tail up, and his arm is in the horse's ass all the way up to here.
Nice.
And my wife is like, we're driving for like a mile and a half, and she's sitting in the car like this, doesn't say a word. And finally, she goes, "What was that?" And without missing a beat, I'm like, "He's a mechanic. Don't worry about it."
That's good. He's a mechanic.
He's a mechanic. He's just looking under the hood, man. Don't worry about it. So we're good. Um, so those are the two stories. And we come out to Dallas, and a little bit about what we're doing now. We came, when we left Pittsburgh, we left and came to Dallas, and we came homeless. We didn't have a home. We had no place to go. We didn't have any money. We had a couple grand in our account. We came out here. We were living in hotels, and we were homeless until until October of 2022, and we got into this cheap, a townhome type deal, 2,500 a month. But the reason it's very difficult because there's over 2 million veterans here, and they don't have the organizational structure to take care of them all. So they suffer pretty bad. So we started a window cleaning business out here, which we became a 5-star window cleaning business. It's a veteran-owned, family-operated window cleaning business called Dallas Windows and Gutter Cleaning, and we do fairly well. This year's been rough. We lost about $60,000 in income, over this last year. So it's been pretty tough on us, from loss of sales. So, that's how it's, inflation, all that stuff is how it's translated down to us. Pretty tough. So we're struggling, to get next year should be better. But then I also started this other company called Childlike Candles, which is anybody who buys a candle, 25% goes to help a veteran and his family. Now, right now, they're going to help me and my family, this veteran and his family, until I can get on my feet and get out there and start helping other veterans. But, you saw the website. We have about 20 different fragrances. We're introducing 2 more new fragrances. We just got ourselves into the Dallas Mall, Texas Traditions, and we're introducing ourselves to 2 more fragrances of tobacco and cinnamon tobacco. And we're going to do a vanilla cinnamon. So 3 new fragrances.
Oh,
actually.
wow.
A tobacco, a cinnamon tobacco, and a vanilla cinnamon. So we're going to do those. So altogether we have about 21. And then, we got these nice, cups out there that people can buy if they want them. They got the QR code on there. Same thing with the candles. But that's what I'm doing now, man. That's where I'm at now. That's my story.
Very nice. All right. Well, hey, tell me you now, say the website again so everybody knows what it is. And,
okay. The website for the candles is called Child Light, Light, common spelling of child and light, put them together, Child Light Candles. They can go there. They can actually see me as a young veteran on there. They can read my story. They can see all the fragrances. They can order it. We can drop ship anywhere in the United States. We haven't picked up yet Hawaii and Alaska, but we can do that. If we need to, I can talk to my IT guy and we can get that in immediately. But with that being said, we can go anywhere inside the United States. And like I said, if they need to, we can go into Hawaii and Alaska. We just haven't geared up for it yet, but I'd like to really get it going. I'd like to see that grow.
Okay.
Get me going financially for my kids and my family, but also so that people can have a way of saying, and we are a for-profit organization. One of the things that pissed me off about nonprofits is when we were living in a hotel, we didn't need help with food or anything like that because you can go to agencies and get food. There's food banks. What we couldn't get is rent. Rent is what we couldn't pay. But because we lived in a hotel, they wouldn't pay the rent. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a roof over the kids' heads. It's a roof over the kids' heads. You're letting it go because of red tape, because of some 503C, we can't do a hotel type deal because the government says. So this is a for-profit, so we don't have to deal with the government BS. If the veteran is living in a hotel, it's like, okay, look, it's a roof over your head. We're not going to move you out of the hotel, but we will pay the hotel bill. We will help you out with that. We will help you get groceries. We'll help you get food. We'll get you the right area to do that. But in the meantime, we'll pay the hotel bill. We'll help you with gas and things like that. So that's what I want to do is cut through the red tape. Get through that garbage and say, how do we help the veteran? There's 38,000 veterans on the street still. And that's a shame. That's a shame. These guys, they went out there and busted their ass and said, here's a blank check. Here's my life. And this is the way the government's going to treat them. To me, that pisses me off. I don't know how anybody else feels, but for me as a Mexican and a veteran, I'm looking at all these illegals come over and go, wait a minute, hold up. I'm a legal Mexican and I can't get help. Come on, help me out here. Give me some help. Very true. But it just pisses me off. But it is what it is. May I with permission, may I say something about my YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is called Faith, Family, Freedom. If you can't find it, you can go through your link. Maybe I'll send you a description. You can link it down in there. But we talk about the Bible, talk about Christianity in America, so on and so forth. God, guns, the family, so on and so forth. But it's a burgeoning YouTube. So I haven't been able to do much with it. But with that being said, got it. I'm trying to get that growing. It's called Faith, Family, Freedom.
Faith, Family, Freedom.
Yeah, so Childlike Candles. So I'm really trying to work, in helping our society get back to God and get back to our traditional roots of God, apple pie, mom, things like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Well, you're doing some great things. I appreciate it, man.
Hopefully I did your show some justice. I'm just a
shoot. Yeah, absolutely, man. For sure.
I'm a regular Joe here. I'm not even a senior gunnery sergeant, whatever you guys are. I'm just a staff sergeant.
Well, you're doing good things, so it's all good. Well, hey, I always close out every show and I talk about veteran suicide whenever I do this. But before we get into that, is there anything that you want to leave all the listeners with before we close it out?
Yeah, if you're going to talk about veteran suicide, the one thing I want to say to veterans is, look, God loves you. Okay, never give up on the Lord. Never give up. I mean, there's, the problem with veterans is, in that suicide rate is that they find themselves in a dark hole and they don't see any light. They don't see a way out. Well, if I can say this, please, Jesus is the light. So go look to the Lord. Go, He will help you. He knows what it's like to suffer. He knows what it's like to be killed. He knows what it's like to be alone. Pray to Him. Just get on your knees and pray, and you'll see the light, and you'll find a way out of that dark hole, and He'll help you. Trust me on this one. Don't leave without even trying. Just give it an opportunity, because you guys. I understand what you're going through, and I just don't want to see you in that dark hole, because I love you, and you're my brother, you're my sister. Don't do it, please. I mean, if the country needs anybody, we need you. So please, you're super, super important to all of us. So please give us an opportunity to help you, and reach out to a veteran organization. Go to your VFW, go to your American Legion, go find some help, get into a church, find some help. There's always going to be hope there. Just find some help. Somebody will help you. Trust me.
Absolutely.
I've been through it, and we've been on our last time, and God has come through. So please don't give up. Don't give up hope.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was good. Awesome. All right. Well, don't leave me yet. I'm going to do my tag ending here, and then we can talk after. All right. To all the veterans, if you're struggling, need help out there, the VA has some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on the chat icon. You can also text 838-255. But remember, one veteran life lost, one too many. I care about you. I know Michael cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies that you served with. Ask them how they're doing. And if they need that helping hand, please give them that helping hand. All right. With that, thank you very much. I appreciate you for coming on. And to all the listeners, stay motivated and change your talk.